Hello, 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 everyone. This is Jaw Jacking with T and K. Hello, hello.
Hey,
Okay, I am T for Teresa. He is K.
okay.
He is K. And right now, before we get started, I am going to share. Once again, as always, if you care, you will share. Kris, do you have something else on?
You want some music?
Yeah, music. Si, senor.
All right. This is called Kissed by the Sun. Artist is M. Faso. And this is off the Neo Soul Beats Volume 1. All right.
Go
Kissed
ahead.
by the Sun by M. Faso. Neo Soul Beats Volume 1. I'm announcing that because we do not own the rights to this music. But when you give the shout out to the folks, they don't seem to clip your music.
Hey, you just do it already. Jesus.
I just want to give the dude some props. You know what I'm saying? All right, playing. Let's go.
You made me
Jeez.
cough.
Jeez. Rawr. On a Saturday night. You need it louder?
Yes. Once again, this is John Jackie with
Sorry, playback.
Well, why are you playing the back for?
Sorry.
Damn it.
Sorry. What's going on, Jesse? 2 minutes.
Uh-huh. I want to know.
Okay, they was getting crazy on the ivories. I didn't know that. Sorry. All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
You're so
Yay, we're
you're
back.
so you're so burnt for that. Like your whole face, dude. You're so burnt. Hi everybody, we miss you. What's going on?
So anyway, this is John
Oh my
Jackie.
word.
This is John Jackie with T and K. I am T for Teresa. He is K for Kris. And what?
What?
I just said this is John Jackie with T and K. I I am T for Teresa. I had to think about what my name was, okay? And that's K for Kris.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we are here. Woo woo! Yay! K for Kris. No, no, no.
Oh,
Edit
yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
We are here.
All right, let's
Woo
turn that
woo!
playback
Yay!
off. I have playback.
Oh, turn it off. Jesus.
I'm turning it off. It's been 2 months since we've done this. I'm just all discombobulated. I'm trying to get my little area together. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
Okay, moving on. So we
I'm sorry.
decided. Mm. So let me just explain what happened. Let me explain. Because y'all seen we had a whole flyer out with a totally different subject on it, and we were going to talk about no more hurt for the holidays. We were going to go into it and so on and so forth. But then what had happened was after we had decided that that's what we we're going to talk about. Sometime this week, I went to my job and somebody was talking about at what age is uh too young, I guess, or at what age should a child be asked to leave the home
Hmm.
and go on their own? And at what age is it inappropriate to stop helping your children when they are on their own? And then I thought about that thing, right? So then, right as I was driving home from work that night, and I was thinking about that thing as I was, I was talking on the phone to my son, and my son was telling me about a post he had made on Facebook, or I guess he shared someone else's post, and it was talking about how when you're 21, you have to get out the house and da 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 da. And hey, I see you. All right, but yeah, and so he made a post or he shared a post about being 21 and how you should be out of the house at 21. But his take, my son's take on it was no, stay in the house for as long as you can and get all the knowledge you can so that you'll be prepared to stay when you do leave. So you'll be prepared to stay out. So I wondered, when I seen both of those things happen this week, we just totally shift what we're going to talk about to this because the more I heard about it, the more it became important to me, and I think important for us to talk about as a community. Um, so, with that being said, Kris, your turn.
All right. Well, let's get started. We're gonna jump right in with this first question, you guys. And as you know, please make sure you jump in the comments with us, conversate with us, and also share to your friends on your page and get them involved in this conversation as well. All right. But question number one is going to be, why was this the case? And was it right to expect such an early departure, for your children?
Wait, let's go back to what the case was because we didn't give them that first. So what we're asking is, so we know back in the day, especially like during I'm a little older than some of y'all on here, but so during my age, it was always said that when you're 18, you're supposed to leave the house. So when you leave the house at 18, when you were in my age group, and I grew up 70s, 80s, 90s, So on and so forth. I was born in 1970 exactly. So during our age group, we were always told that you're supposed to leave the house at the age 18. And something's coming back. There's another sound coming back. But anyway, so we're supposed to leave the house at 18 years old. And it was, I guess, thought that we would either be going to college or to the military, either one at the age 18. And if you did not do either one of those, then you were expected to at least have a job if you're going to stay at home. So the only way that you could stay home was to get a job. Even though I say that was, during my age, but let me tell you something now. Let's just, because, we keep it real around here. So let me just tell you my personal business. I, though, did not leave the house at 18. I was a different kind of child. I was very different. I was just a different kind of child. And I was kind of really scared to go out and live on my own. So I didn't. I stayed in the house. God, when did I actually move out? I don't even know. I mean, I lived with other people off and on, like bouncing around, but I didn't necessarily leave my mother's house. God, I had a baby in her house. God, how old was I, Kris? I was ancient before I got out on my own. I was ancient. I
Hey,
was,
I do not know. All I know is I was gone, bro.
I know Kris had moved out. Everyone
Yeah,
had
I had
moved
to.
out. Except for me and my little brothers. Kris had already moved out. Kim had moved out, of course, and it was me and my little brothers. And
Yeah.
no, in fact, it was just me and Rafi at the end, I think. But anyway, but the whole point was it took me a long time to move out of my mother's house. And I can tell you, for me, it was fear. For me, it was because of fear. So now when we have this question that we're asking, I have to look at myself too and just realize that I was someone who was scared to live on my own. I was scared of success and scared of failure. I was scared of everything. So, I mean, obviously I'm not that girl anymore, thank God. But I was her. And I didn't move. I didn't move out. So the 18 years of age, you got to be out stuff, that didn't work for me because I would stay till I was like well into my 30s. Okay. And I know that's crazy, but that's really my story. So that's what we're saying. So in the case of us saying people have to be out by the time that they're 18 years old, going to college or going to the military, or at least having a job if they're going to live at home. Why was that the case? So the first question we have is, why was that the case? Why did we always tell our kids they had to be out by the age of 18?
Right. So that's what I'm asking you for your first question. Why was that the case? You think that parents sent their children out at such an early age, or that was the bar right there? Have your stuff together and get ready to go at age 18. Why do you think that?
There are I think for me, when I think about that question myself, now we need y'all to answer too. Look, we ain't here talking by ourselves.
Hey, Erica.
Oh, I see. Aima says, unfortunately, she's the product of being forced to move out at age 17.
Okay.
So, Aima, when you say forced to move out, can you give some more explanation to that? Just the phrase "forced to move out," like where you just like, okay, at 17 you gotta go.
So she said she believes that it was more of a forced standard. So I would assume then, that's just the staple for the house. Look, this is what it is. And like I said, have your stuff together and ready to go by that age. You know, which we will be touching on a little later in the show in regards to whether or not people are prepared to do that. But for you, Teresa, I'm asking, so why do you think that's the case, though? Back in your age group or whatever, have it, you know?
Well, I think that most parents in my age group, once again in my age group, felt like they have put enough in you, and you graduated high school at that age, hopefully, and that they have had taught you enough for you to live on your own by the time you were 18 years old. And I think they just felt like this is the age of your responsibility, and now it's time for you to make it on your own. So that's what I think was happening in my age demographics, was that I feel like they just felt like, well, number one, if you have gone to college, or if you have gone to military, you were going to be on your own anyway, because you would be either in a dormitory, or you would be in the barracks, in the military, and either way it goes, you will be away from home and on your own. But for those who did not do that, the standard was, but you have to get a job then if you're going to stay inside the house. And it
Right.
wasn't necessarily because I need money, although sometimes that was the case for some parents. It was more like, you got to show me that you're responsible enough to make it on your own.
Right. Now, Erica said maybe because they want you to test the water for yourself to see if you can do it on your own. Okay.
That's a good one.
So, and I slightly touched on that earlier today with you, if you remember. You were saying, so did people just throw their kids out into the water? Like, is that a real thing? I actually think it is. You know, it's a little harsh to some, but some parents feel that they know what's best for their child and what they might have instilled in them, and so went ahead and okay, now swim. I don't know how effective that is or not, but I'm sure that is a thing. Jesse said some kids start acting grown early, so you continue to be a good parent, but two grown people can't live in the same house. Yes, sir. Yeah, that is a real one. You kind of start sniffing yourself. Your brain has developed enough where you have your own thoughts and feelings and your own perspective. Unfortunately, it's not your house, and so yeah, there's going to be a clash there. It's not about any love being lost. However, your word is never going to trump mine. So, I mean, if that's what you need to do. Uh, when I think about this question, Teresa and you guys, um, I heard something completely different because it made me go back to some real live people that I have observed in the past. And we're talking when some parents have thrown their children out. It wasn't always about, hey, my dude, on the grind, Jesse, what's up, man? Glad you could make it. First time guest. All right. But so when I remember some incidences as a kid, some parents threw their kids out because I just want my house back. Some kids got tossed out because uh, you look like you're no good daddy. And you remind me of them too much. You act just like them. Yeah, you got to get on out of here. That's a real thing, and it actually does happen to people. You know, I want my life back. Well, but the child didn't ask to come inside the world. So you're kind of blaming the child for a decision you made. Now, we're not talking in cases of if something was forced upon you and you had a child. That's a different scenario, obviously. But if you had the child, you shouldn't be blaming the kid for your life having to make an adjustment, and now you're going to throw them out to the wolves because you're ready for you to be able to entertain your guests or your privacy, or because children cost too much. Well, yeah, they do, but they didn't ask for that. You know what I mean?
That right there is the saddest part, because yeah, there are a lot of parents who did, uh I guess, like you said, get rid of their kids, or just throw their kids out too early,
What's
too
going on, Taylor
early.
Mo?
But it's also kind of like them saying, yeah, that's just it's that to me is abuse. I mean, I don't know how anyone else sees it, but that part to me is abuse, because I'm like, bottom line, the child never asked to be here. As we know, we didn't make that decision with you. We weren't there for that. Okay, no kid was there for that. Okay, we just showed up in the world. So and I think sometimes parents, sometimes the child is an inconvenience for the parent. And that's what it comes across as, that you're an inconvenience for me. You're just something that I tolerate as opposed to someone who I love. And I was waiting to get rid of you anyway. And now you're 18 or 17 or 16 and you got to go.
Yeah.
Because I only took care of you because I had you and no other reason, not because of love. See, that's a whole nother subject altogether because it is so abusive to me. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm saying to me because that's just how I feel about it. But that's not cool. That's not
Yeah.
nice. And I see what Amina's saying. She said, I mean, Aima, sorry, I would never put my child out. And I see that she's saying that, and I understand the why. I was also talking to someone else this week who pretty much said the same thing, and she said the same thing because her growing up was very similar. Like her growing up was rough. So now she has a 18-year-old son. She said that she would never stop helping her son. He will never uh, um, have to leave unless he's fully ready. Even when he's out, if he needs anything, she will always be there for him. She will always help him. Because
Well, because the thought behind that is, unfortunately, the world is cold and the world is not going to help you. It's not their job to. They don't care about that. You're expected when you enter into society that you're supposed to be a responsible young adult, and that's what their expectation for you. When unfortunately that isn't always the case. Um, I'd like to get to Kay Sean, who said that's just a part of growing up, though, right? We don't know it all. So when we think we do, would that be the right thing, to throw us out knowing we don't know better? Yeah. So
let me just explain something real quick. Y'all know Kayshawn is Chris's son, so go on. I want to hear this one. That's my nephew.
okay. So two things that comes to mind with that. For me,
How you better say it right now. Say it right.
no, okay. So when he said we don't know it all and we think we do, um, for me, when I was 16,
You wild
uh,
out.
yeah, 16. Yeah, so I was 16 years old. We were living in North Carolina. It was a foreign land to me
Chris
anyway. So
wild out. Let me tell y'all the story.
hey,
He
hey, hey,
wild
hey,
all the way
slow down, because everybody got their own version. Knock it off. All right,
wild out.
yeah, that's your version. Hush, girl. All right.
I'm sorry.
So, I did have my first job. Wendy's, I think, right? And so to be honest with you, so the situation was set up for rough times either way. We weren't in the proper living arrangements at the time. Nothing to do with whether our mother or not tried to, whatever the case being. She worked, she put a roof over our head. It was just tight. Now you got, four siblings in a tight situation, and everybody's mouthy. Everybody got attitudes. We pretty much on top of each other because the place is small. You name it is happening. People are tired. And so I tried to leave, and I paid for my own bus ticket. I'm out of here. I'm going back to California. And as a 16-year-old kid, I thought, well, hey, I got friends. People love me. This should be a cinch. I should be able to be okay. Nah. I got out to California and I called my older sister and I said, hey, I'm here. I need to come stay. She said, my door's not opening. I'm not letting you stay. You need to find your way back to North Carolina and go back home with mom. What? I don't have a place to stay. Well, but nobody told you to come out here. So what ended up happening was I stayed with a friend and his mother. That only lasted 3 days. And then she sent me to a group home.
Mm.
And then a resident in the group home tried to kill me with a knife. And so then my older sister then comes, and it says,
I
so
wonder if Kim watching right now. Oh my God, I so want to call her on the phone. I want to call her. I'm like, Kim, I want to get your take on this. But go on.
right. So she then comes and then says, okay, we're getting you out of here. Still not staying with me, but we're getting you out of there.
Right.
So I ended up going back to North Carolina. Lesson learned. I wasn't ready. I thought I was, but I wasn't ready. The second part of what he said, would that be the right thing to throw a child out knowing that they don't know better? No, Kayshawn, we don't throw the child out when we know you don't know better. However, as Jesse said, if the stuff is hitting the fan and now you grown and you sniffing yourself and now we're at odds for whose authority is who, then you're kind of leaving us no choice where it's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and handle your business.
Wait, I want to get to this comment that I'm on the grind, Jesse. I have it on the screen right now.
Uh-huh.
I can't. I'm sorry. I need. Look, I'm
I
old.
got it. I got you.
Thank you.
All right. So she wears glasses, y'all. She tried
No,
to
I have on my contact lenses, but I
you know.
need reading glasses on top of it. Just leave it alone. Go on.
Uh-huh. You cute though. You cute. All right. So man, crazy topic. I was 14, 15. We was sent out, but we took advantage and turned into animals. It's great. You it moved. I'm sorry. It's great. Excuse
good.
me. It's good. Okay.
No, it
You know
gets
the other
it.
result. Okay, got
It
it.
gets it. It gets it, or you know the other result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he said that. So he was sent out early. So wow, 14, 15. That's like
That's
really early to be sent out of here. You know, that's way early. That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I think I ran away from home around that age, and it only lasted like 2 or 3 days, and I had to get my butt back in the house, man. All
So
right.
I put Aima's comment on the screen. Honestly, parents are doing the kids out to the throwing the kids out to the walls, because if you've never told them the responsibilities of being an adult before you do it, then how can you blame them if they fail? That, well, we're gonna get to that part. We have a question for that one. You're right, but you're right though. You're right. And sometimes the kid, this is the whole thing. This is the whole point of this conversation, because sometimes the children are not ready to be on their own, and they're just put out because, like Kris said, sometimes it's because I want my house back. Sometimes it's just because, let's be honest, sometimes we as children, teenagers, sometimes we do act a little crazy. Sometimes we did go all the way off. Sometimes we did do it all together wrong. Sometimes we did not act in accordance to the rules of the house, which is a whole nother thing. Because bottom line, if you did get the warning as a child, and I think we all did, like if we all got that warning. Oh, and by the way, Taylor Moore asked to be added to the video. I don't know if he's still Taylor Moore. He's still online with us, but anyway, Taylor Moore, if he's still online, put a comment in. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, children are children. But I just wonder though, so when if the child is acting out, if they are acting a little crazy, if they are doing way too much, then, this question is not one of the questions we wrote down, but I have to ask, then for you all, is that okay reason to cause the child to leave? Is that an okay reason to send them away? Taylor, why do you want to come on the video? What's up?
So he said he has some stuff to share, but I told him, Taylor, get on here and say your piece, man. Just keep it G-rated, man.
Do not cuss. You cuss, I'm taking you off the video. I ain't even playing with you. Okay, now go on.
Oh my Lord, that's so funny.
I'm just saying. So Taylor, I'm going to send you the invitation right now on your messenger. I'm going to try to, at least. I'm definitely trying to right now.
All right. So while we're talking, man, go ahead and just sum it up what you need to, because we'd love to hear what you have to say, man. All right. But in the meantime, that was one other comment I wanted to get to. And I know we're all over the place, you guys. Again, forgive us. We're a little rusty, but, glad you guys are getting back with us. Um, Erica even said that sometimes the wife and the husband says that they want their house back just so that they can have peace.
Well, were you called? You were disrupting their peace? But Taylor Moore, are we friends on Facebook? Because if we ain't, I can't get to you. You might want to go friend me. I'm just trying to tell you now. But
Yeah, he said, okay, bet. All right, so he'll go ahead and type. All
yeah,
right, but yeah, so I wanted to highlight that because again, so I'm a married person, and so I completely understand that because you do want your peace, you do want to walk around in your drawers and be grown, sure, but again, our children didn't ask to come.
right.
We made that decision, so now we gotta wait. Now, when they grown and get on and mosey down the road, then we could open it up some. But right now, it is what it is. That's what your closed door and your bedroom doors for, and that's that. All
Mhm.
right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question, Risa.
Yes.
Which I think you kind of somewhat mentioned it. So, so if a child, no, let me back up. Sorry. What are you doing or have done to properly prepare your child to successfully leave home?
Yeah.
I'm going to repeat that. What are you doing or have done to properly prepare your child to successfully leave home? Now, I'd like to answer that one first because I currently have a 19-year-old son at home. He has attempted to leave home once. It was a roommate situation. He and his friend wanted to make a go at it with his friend's mom as kind of like supervision. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was a bad idea. As he mentioned, as a parent, I knew that that was not a good idea for him because I knew that I hadn't finished equipping him with everything I wanted to put in him. But this boy taller than me, and I'm not about to be tussling and physically grabbing him to try to make him stay. So, I mean, he went out the door. He went out the door. Well, thank you, Lord. It only took like 2 months, 3 months, and he's sitting outside my door with his bags around the corner, trying to pretend it was a casual visit. Nah, he was trying to ask, can he come back? But he just didn't know how because he knew he messed up. Little did he know, me and my wife is monitoring him from afar the whole time. And if anything were to happen, we were going to dive in and save the day anyway. But he didn't know that. And we had to allow him to do that.
Yeah.
He had to learn for himself. Hey, I'm not fully prepared. Let me go back and finish getting some of these tools. So now he's asking me questions. We're talking about savings. We're talking about credit. We're talking about a waiting list and how long that may take when you're trying to get your first place to live. What type of car are we looking for? Your driver's licenses. You know, we're discussing young adult things. So that way, when he flies the coop, I have instilled in him as much as I humanly possibly can to try to raise the level of his success when he leaves. And and as a parent, that's the best I can do. But at least he was smart enough to come back and give me the opportunity to try to finish teaching him what I needed to tell him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my answer for that. So I would say we are properly preparing him right now, and thankfully on his end, he's willing to open his ear and hear what we have to say.
Give me a second. I'm gonna add Taylor to the thing. Okay.
Sure.
Taylor, move your camera back.
Oh yeah, we on camera.
You're on camera,
All
so
right.
move your camera back a little bit.
Yeah, I don't got we don't got Viacom, so I'm gonna try to keep my best to hold my tongue.
Okay, I need you guys to know that this is the first time in Jaw Jacking history
That we have
that,
ever
that we've
put
ever
anybody on
allowed
the
anybody to come on. We're not going to make a habit of it, but in this case, I did ask for him to come visit the show because I know that he had some things to talk about. So
But Taylor, move your camera
Oh,
back though.
okay. Can y'all see me?
And I know
yeah,
you about 3 hours difference from us, right? You on the East Coast? East Coast.
Yeah, we're in Virginia. Yeah. But thank you for letting me use your platform to speak on this subject. You know, I feel honored for that, being the first to be on here. So thank y'all for that. And
You're welcome.
second, I know it's because I'm family, so I get a pass. So it's all good.
True statement. Just don't cuss, and we're gonna be all right.
I got you. I got you.
Amen. Amen.
But to add to what you guys were talking about, man, yeah, because my whole life growing up, the rule was always you 18, you gotta go. And I'm like, I'm thinking 18, 18, they always said you're a man. You're considered a man at that age, for men anyway. Um, you're considered a man. So at 18, I'm like, dang, I don't know what I'm about to do. I don't even know what I want to be in life yet. You know what I mean? But in the back of my mind, it was figure it out or you're going to be stuck. So getting out of high school, being 18, I had got my first job, working at a cell phone company, whatever. So I'm thinking I'm doing something, but I had no knowledge of saving, building credit or any of that stuff. I'm just thinking I have a job, I'm making money, I'm living life. You know what I'm saying? So nobody mentored me with that because in some cases, Black folks, we're not taught this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's trial and error with us.
right.
Everything we learn is from what other people have done. You know what I'm saying?
But it's
And
not
I
it's not a
feel
wait Taylor. But it's not a black issue. It's just a people issue. And I'm saying that for
no
that
facts.
reason
It's
that
not you're totally right. You're right. I
yeah
can't just label it as a race thing, but you're right. A lot of us don't know financially how stable we are, and we don't know this stuff about credit, stocks, or investing, or any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are blessed to know that because they have family that are in that profession, so they get
right.
blessed that knowledge and stuff like that. But for me, I'm just thinking, as long as I stack my paper up, I'm gonna be good for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole mindset. As long as I had bread in my pocket, I wasn't broke. I wasn't, you know what I mean? But it comes with a lot of different stuff because what happens when you lose your job? How do you rebound from that? And for me, I'm like, dang, what am I gonna do? I didn't know I could just get another job or um, just keep trying because once you get fired, I'm thinking, dang, it's it for me. It's like a blemish on your credit. You mess up, you miss a bill, and you're like, dang, my credit score went down. But it's like, in the job, I thought the same sense. Dang, I messed up at this job, I'll never get hired again. So then I was thinking like on the street mentality, like I'm going to the streets. So for me, I was selling drugs, started pimping women, like
Are you
something I
serious?
stuff I would never do. I'm so serious. It's not a joke and this is at
Wow.
17, 18, 19 years old because I'm not knowing of anything. I'm destroying
Wow.
my own great grandmother's house selling drugs so I could have something to eat because I was
Oh,
told at 18 you're on your own. You got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing stuff that I know I shouldn't be doing, but I'm saying it like I need to eat. I need to have some clothes on my back. I need to do this. I need to do that. But luckily for me, I had enough common sense to stop and realize this is not who I was raised to be.
that's
This is
it.
Now,
not who I am. You know
now
what I'm
let me
saying?
now let me ask you this,
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of coincides with question number three, Teresa, that I added. Um, so I was asking if a child
Hey, baby.
decides to leave on
Wait,
their
Taylor.
own.
Taylor, focus.
Yes.
Focus.
No.
Go on.
No, but
Go to Sissy.
if a child decides to leave
Okay.
on their own, is there a reason you don't allow them to come back? So I'm asking you, did you ever attempt to go back home? Did you ever chop it up with moms? Like, look, I know what you guys are saying, but I got it hard out here, and I'm busted right now. Like, can I regroup, rebound real quick, and then get back out there? Like, how was that?
For me, I would no man, because I was 18. I'm 32 now. Never went back to mom's house. Recently I found out that I was able to come to my mom's house. So it was a
Okay,
miscommunication that I never understood, but we never got it resolved. You know what I'm
got it.
saying? So that was a lot of miscommunication on that end. But I found out later I could have came when they went to Virginia. I could have came, out here earlier. But when you're young and you've been hearing you got to get out at 18, I'm like, dude, forget y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna have to figure it out. So I did. I mean, I didn't make the best choices, and I made a lot of good choices too. Like I got my degree on my own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
it's just really how you really play your cards, and you're gonna bump your head. But I feel like there shouldn't be. But to go on the subject of what you guys were talking about, I feel, in my opinion, I don't feel the kid should be going at 18 because I feel you're still a kid at that age. You're still not mature enough to understand the financial stability you need to be on your own, or the right things that you need to have in place to stay stable and to hold stuff down on your own. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just because your age is saying you're grown doesn't mean mentally and your heart feels that you're grown. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if that's the case, we should have been taught this since elementary school on how to survive as a human being instead of learning our ABCs and how to read. Or not saying not
Okay,
to read, but
so
you know what I'm saying? More
Yeah.
so
knowledge
we
on
have
how to survive on our own.
about 25 minutes left. So, and we still got one more question. But before we get you going, Taylor, so let me just wrap you up by asking this.
Yes, sir.
So now looking back in your situation, so with your situation, do you feel that you had to mosey down the road too early for your situation? So do you
Oh,
feel
of
like you were
course.
ill-equipped?
Oh, of course, man. I was very lost, very lost. Just dealing with a lot, and growing up where we grew up, Southeast is like it's hard, man, because it's like everybody wants to be somebody, everybody wants to do this, everybody wants to do that, but it's not the love and the passion that you have is not shared amongst everybody, so it's shunned down upon a lot of times. And then you do find a group of people that do love what you do, so it's like it give and take, you know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, I got the knowledge that I needed to just the bare necessities, but I didn't get enough to excel and succeed where I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get to where I need to, because how
Right,
I was always taught, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. You know what I mean? And a
right.
lot of people they don't understand that because they're so in a rush to get to where they need to and need this. Like I remember when I didn't have nothing, Chris, I was living with you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't mind telling my story. I'm very transparent. Like I was homeless living with you, and I was still trying to figure it out and
Hey,
living
that
my
was like
life
the
and stuff
best
like
year
that.
ever. That
It
was
was,
like the
man.
best year ever.
Look, it was video games, hot dogs, and soda all day. Like, but those moments, I just remember, and it's like I remember where I came from and where I'm at
Yeah.
now. It's just like I was just talking to wifey earlier. I was like, man, I remember we were just piecing up because we just saw Little Caesars. Little Caesars was jumping right now.
Yeah,
I'm like, dang, like I remember them days. Like we was piecing up for $5 just to get a box, just to
right,
eat. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And it's like it's real humble experience, and it's like, dang, I don't think I would eat Little Caesars ever again. But I'm like, I just had Little Caesars the other day. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like I'm better than anybody, but I just know where I come from. I don't forget those days when it was just noodles and hot dogs and stuff like that. It made me who
Right.
I am today to appreciate what I have now. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, like I said, it's not how
Yeah.
you start, it's how you finish, man. Because people are always gonna remember when you were broke and doing bad and maybe robbing or stealing, whatever the bad stuff. But they're not gonna remember, oh, he changed his life because he has a family now. He has a lot more to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He wants to change his life so his kids could have something more. Because it's not about us anymore. When you have kids, it's not about us anymore. I understand that now. You guys had kids longer than me. So when people say you had kids, and I heard y'all say that, I've heard everybody say that to me, it's a whole different ball. Like you'll understand the difference when you have a kid and the love that you share with your children and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, dang, I don't want them to
Okay, so
fail. I
Taylor,
want
you
them
ain't
to
gonna
outdo me.
you're not gonna take your child leave the nest until they are of age and well
Um,
equipped to handle
when they like
anything.
Batman, when he ready to go fight some crime, if they not like that, they're not leaving, man. Because I want them
Right,
to be ready. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be at least have a savings account. You know, at least start off with good credit to start on their own, so they could get a house, apartment on their own. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? A
right.
good, like, you know what I'm saying? Just set. You know what I mean? When whatever
right,
they want to do, I want to support them 100%, man.
right.
So I'm
That's
here.
it.
Whatever tools I can give them, they got it. And they don't need dad or mom when we gone, because we're not
Right.
here forever. You know what I mean? But while we're here, I want to lace them with the best game I can give them, show them all my failures, and I can show them how they can get away from that and become successful. So,
That's
Right.
and
it.
that's what all
That's
life is
it.
about. Each one teach one, and we're all a village, man. So we are. It,
All
it
right,
takes a
man.
village to raise these kids.
Well, I appreciate you coming on with us. Stay in the comments though, but we
Oh,
gotta move
definitely,
to
I
this
got
next
y'all.
question. All right.
All right,
Bye,
man. Love y'all,
Taylor.
man. Thank y'all for
You
the
too, boy.
opportunity, man.
We love you too. You're removed now. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, now real
That
quick,
was good.
yeah, Wes.
We never
Real
did
quick, wanted to say what's up with or what's up to Pastor Clay.
that.
Thank
Yes.
you for joining, and Miss Jackie. If I didn't see your face soon, you know me and you was gonna have it, lady.
I want to
So,
put up her other comment too, because when Taylor was talking, she said, "But Teresa Knight, remember there are females that get put out on the runway, the track, y'all, and they sell drugs, it's strip, they sell sex, boost stuff and everything else just to make it, because sometimes females are put out early too."
yeah,
And just like Taylor was saying, he went to selling drugs. Women do it too, just to survive, because they're not equipped to live on their own, and sometimes they're put out the house way too early. So
Miss Jackie, you talking about a whole nother something, lady. Man, we might have to address that one.
we might have to do a part two on this one too. Like sometimes our subjects be so juicy that you got to do like a part two. I think this one's gonna need a part two. But go
Yeah,
on.
because oh my God, I'm about to spoil my Christianity. Yeah, I went to a strip club before, man. Like back in the day. Yeah. Hey, come back, come back, come back, come back on screen. There you go. All right, so back in the day, come on, let me say this now. Taylor said I'm telling. All right, look. So yeah, I went to the strip club, man. Uh, you know, yeah, I went through a period.
Wait, why, Jesus? Why? Okay, go on.
Listen, went through a period,
I'm listening.
and at first, it was like entertaining and all of that. It was cool. The whole show, all
Jackie
of
said
that.
she in
Okay,
mind.
listen, and I got it. But we're talking some years later, just thinking back about the experience. I mean, you experience what you experience, okay, whatever. But part of that experience was, so you're throwing this money at these chicks
Women,
to to
ladies.
to um to pretend to like you for 10 minutes. Y'all don't know each other, and they're do listen, they're
I'm trying to figure
doing
out where you're
this.
going with this. That's all. I'm trying to figure out
Would
where you're
you
going with
listen? So they're entertaining you for 10 minutes for you to throw money at them, and you're all over them and all of this kind of stuff, and you're being all of this extra sexual and all this whatnot. But for them, this is just their means to get some
it.
money.
Mm-hmm.
They more times than not are not enjoying this. A lot of them are terrified, they're scared, they're feeling downtrodden, belittled, they're feeling like nothing. And a lot of them are feeling like, is this what it came to? Now, I'm not saying everybody. Some people say it's fast money, they had to get to college, whatever. But there are some of them that this was a last resort type of situation. And that kind of plays into what Miss Jackie was saying, is where I'm going with this. Um, for the viewer or the person being entertained, you're thinking this is entertainment, but for them, they're down in the pits, man, because they got kicked out, or because they out there, or because they don't know what to do, or because something done popped off, and now this is what it's come to for them.
My God.
And it shouldn't have to be like that. If you want to go into that kind of entertainment, it should be a choice, not because you feel forced that that's all the only option that you have. You see what I'm saying?
I
And
do.
and wait, the older me could understand that. The younger me did not. If the older me were to try to go up in something like that, I wouldn't be able to, because I'm understanding like, whoa, that whole situation is just jacked up, bro. Like, it's not cool.
So let me ask you this question. I know we asked this. I think we did ask this in the beginning, but I want your take on this. At what age, though, for real, should a child be prepared to be released into adulthood on their own? And at what age do you think a child should be able to make it on their own? And now I'm not adding in the economy, because that's a whole nother set of circumstances these days. The economy right now is crazy, and it's hard for people to make it. So I do understand that right now the real age is 27.
Okay, so that's what I was going to
Oh,
say.
and Erica said 28. Well, that's good.
But that's what I was going to say. You kind of have to add in the economy because it's real life.
Yeah,
For our fourth and last question, as we're rounding third base here, it says on a Google search, it shows in the last 3 to 5 years.
I just said that.
I'm reading it, that now young adults don't leave home until they're 27, which is a major jump in age from 18, like in previous years. And so we're asking, what do you think has caused this change? For me, I understood the 18 get out. I also understood the challenges that I endured as a result of that upbringing or thought process. I thought I was supposed to try to hurry up and get out on my own and do what I want to do, type thing, right? In my older age, I told my son flat out, look, man, you 19. I'm not going to get too disgruntled at least until about 25, because I need you to have enough time to try to figure out which direction you headed in, so that we can support you and back you in what decisions you're making.
And Stephanie Hill said 25 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Yeah, so exactly. And I mean, everybody has something different, but for me, I threw that number out there to him, not to say definitively 25, but I'm just explaining to him, hey, you got this long for you to not even have to be concerned about, hey, what's getting ready to happen to me, around the corner type thing. That's not what we're doing. Okay. Jackie said that preparation is ongoing. The door to the family home should be left open. They can learn at home to manage by actively helping take care of the family home. Also, that may be a cultural detrimentation. What help me with that last
Determination.
word? Thank you. Determination. Lord, I couldn't even say it. I got glasses on too. Ain't that something? Yeah. Definitely that, Miss Jackie, because so my son is responsible for some of the chores. My son don't pay my bills, but my son is taught savings, and he's taught, slide us a little something right here, and we'll put it toward this. And what I set up for him right from the go was, this is to help you to start learning how to pay something, how to set aside for something, how to manage your money, how you're budgeting. Now you know that at the end of the week, you have money for this, that, and the other, and you still got money to the side for you to go live your life, so you don't feel like you're stuck and just paying bills all the time, which is also something we didn't learn. We were taught to get a job and pay bills. We weren't taught set something to the side so you could go and enjoy yourself so you're not a slave to your job. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
On the guy, Jesse said, "Man, I could write a book on this subject. Real talk. What you out to, bruh?"
You really, really, really should. And I see Jesse McQueen says no age limit, maturity level must be in place. My oldest moved out at 18 and was married by 19. Bought first home at 20, had a baby at 21, bought a second house at 22. You better work. You better work.
Wow.
You better work, little children.
Kudos to you, Dad,
That's awesome.
Dad and Mom, because somebody had to be some sort of an influence around there
To get
somewhere.
those things done. Yes.
That ain't something that you just pick up just because somebody was an influence. Yeah, so good job on that one.
I see Erica Hampton said it took, let's put hers up here so I can read it real quick. It took me till I was 28 years old to start getting myself together, and I am doing very well at this. Yay.
Right. For me, I left early, came back, left again around 2021, got our first place to live. My son was a year old around that time, I think, 20. So he was about a year old because I had my first kid when I was 19. And I was married, y'all. Got married when I was 18, 19. Okay.
I'm sorry. I read Jesse McQueen's comment.
Lord, Jesse, go sit in the corner for 5 minutes, man. That's my dude, though. Nah, nah, but so that was for me though, and also by that time, I think our sister Kim, she had kind of got out of there around that time too. So yeah, it's just different strokes for different folks, man. You know.
So let me ask y'all this, and this is going to be our last question, right? Because I think it's time for us to end. But my last question to you. So the child has moved out now, right? So the child has moved out. How long or at what age do you stop helping your child? Like if your child has to bounce back in, reset, go back out, bounce back in, reset, go back out, bounce back in, reset. How many times is the child able to bounce back in if they're able to bounce back in at all? And to what age?
I don't think there's a limit on a bounce back. I think it's circumstantial. Is that how you pronounce that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If my kid is 30 years old and real life happened and they don't have a history, like Stephanie said, I never stopped helping my child. So so I think it's circumstances. If your kid out there being a joker and going against the grain of what they've been taught and they doing all that, then you might be inclined to not being so helpful. But if your kid is doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're trying and just life happens, we've all experienced that. We know how that feels. And we wanted the help and it might not have been there. So, of course, we're going to provide that help.
Yeah. I think so. As always, as we come to close to the show, we don't come with the answers. We come to open this conversation up to everybody and have a conversation about things. And I think on this show, well, probably every show we do, but also this show at this point, I always want people to leave away thinking about things a little differently and maybe having more of a conversation with other people about this, because I do think there's something in our culture, even though we didn't really bring this up too much tonight because bottom line, it is a people issue. But I also think that it is a cultural issue with us, some of us as Black people, where we're so used to hearing, yeah, at 18, we got to get out. 18, you got to get out. 18, you got to get out because you ain't going to stay in my house longer than 18. Well, why not? And why is it that we can clearly see some other cultures that help their children buy houses to move into, buy cars? Like no one leaves the house in some cultures until everybody in the family helps each other buy their vehicle, buy their house, and everything else. And then we as a culture, sometimes we don't do that. We're just ready to kick the kid out. Like bottom line, you, whoever that you are, you have this child. The children did not ask to be here.
All right. So we have 2 minutes. So I'm going to leave you guys with a final thought. But before I do that, we're going to ask again if you did enjoy the show, which we hope that you did. Please don't forget to like and share. Sharing is caring. That's the biggest thing. We need you guys to share. We thank you all. Most of you have joined the Jaw Jacking with T and K page that we launched nearly 2 months ago. Remember, it's still under construction. We're still adding content for your viewing pleasure. But we do thank you all for sticking it out through us through our ups and downs and changes and whatnot. Yeah. Was there any other quick anything before I hit this final thought, sister?
Well, I do have to say this. We will come back and talk about relationships again. You know, look, y'all know we're a relationship show, right? I figured that out. We are actually a relationship show, but we're not just male and female relationship show, though. We're every relationship show. Not just male and female, but every relationship. And I do want to say this while we're on, just real quick. I do realize
we are the children. Oh, sorry. We're everybody. Okay.
the one time I didn't sing anything. The one time. And you come with this. At any rate, I just recently said this to somebody, and I realized this to be true, which is why we talk about relationships so much, male and female relationships so much. I had to realize that every other relationship in the world comes from our parents' relationship. Every other relationship we ever have in the whole wide world comes from how our mother and father interacted with each other, and then how we reacted with our siblings and in our home. And every other relationship is built upon those relationships right there, which is why we talk about relationships so much. Because if you think about
family origin,
every other relationship in the world comes from your mother and father's relationship. Oh, Ebony, you are so late. We are coming off now. We are closing now. So these are our final comments.
Watch the playback, though.
Everybody watch the replay. If you're just coming on, watch the replay. This was a good show. Anyway, but every relationship in the world comes from your mother and your father's dynamics.
Family of origin.
And then your sisters and your brothers and your household dynamics. And you take all those relationships into the world with you. And you carry that stuff with you. That's why we talk about relationships so much. You don't have to be sorry, Ebony. No worries. Just watch replay and comment. Anyway, but God bless you all. Thank you all for tuning in. We are going to come back again and talk about stop doing your face like that. We are going to come back again and talk about male and female relationships because we have to, because that is the origin of everything. Okay.
All right. Give a round of applause for that. All right, final thought, and we're closing. So, all children are different, but as parents and guardians, it is our responsibility to do our best to have our children best prepared as possible to have a higher success rate when on their own. It's okay to have setbacks, and we'll always be there to assist, but their attempts will have a higher percentage of success with good prep work. All right. If you are late, we do appreciate you coming on still. Please watch the playback and comment as much as you'd like. Also, remember, we always do come back and chat with you guys for a little bit as well. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure that you hit my sister's inbox, and she'll be
Jacking page.
Okay, I meant personal, like, what if they want to dog you out or something? I don't want that on the page. I mean, I'm just saying. All right, well, All right. Thank you all.
We'll set up an inbox on the jaw jacking page.
Yikes. Love y'all. Have a good one. Peace.
Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.